Meditation is one of the most well-known spiritual and wellness practices out there. Some of the most successful people in the world swear by meditation and have it as consistent parts of their morning routine. It is also one that I actually have firsthand experience with, but here's the thing. It has been about 4 months since I meditated just in general, but more like 5 or 6 months since I was meditating consistently. And even then, it was still probably every other day, so I feel like I've never really gotten the full effects of meditating every day. Now, I am ready to get back into it, and I'm super curious to see how it will impact my life, but first, let's quickly talk about some of the benefits of meditation. According to the Mayo Clinic, when you meditate, you clear away the information overload that builds up in everyday life that contributes to stress and brain fog. Some of the emotional benefits of meditation can include gaining a new perspective on stressful situations, building skills to manage your stress, increasing self-awareness, focusing on the present, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity, and increasing patience and tolerance. However, it doesn't actually end there, because according to the spiritual community, meditation is also an incredible way to remain focused on your goals, attract what you want out of life through the law of attraction, connect with your higher self and spirit guides, as well as potentially overcome inner turmoil or trauma. It is about time that we embark on another 30-day challenge. I do kind of have a feeling that I will not be stopping daily meditation there. One of my biggest aims with this challenge is to hopefully get me back into meditation. As I said in the intro, I'm not new to the practice. Meditation is something that I have done a lot of in my life. However, as I also mentioned, have not done it consistently in like 7 months or something. Like, it's absurd. If you watched my 30 days of breathwork video, you know that anxiety is something that I have dealt with for such a long time in my life, and it's something that I'm always trying to find new ways of managing it or easing it, and just finding new coping mechanisms to better control my anxiety. But also right now in my life, I feel like I am kind of on the brink of a transition phase. I feel like I'm about to enter into a new chapter of life, and I really want to go into that with just more mental clarity. Okay, so just some basic ground rules. Each practice is going to take place in the morning, and each practice will also be 15 to 20 minutes minimum. Each guided meditation is going to be chosen based on what I feel like I need in that moment. So whether that's anxiety relief, grounding, visualization, focus, etc. And the challenge will officially end on the 2nd of March. I actually just remembered there is this one specific visualization meditation that I just love. I will actually link it down below if you want to try it. Okay, I'm gonna start off by just saying, wow, that meditation just hit different. When I tell you I am in a totally different headspace than I was this morning, earlier this morning. Obviously it's still the morning when I'm doing this, but I just feel so revitalized. And that meditation, seriously, if you take anything away from this video, just go do that meditation, even if it's just once. Right now, I just feel so empowered and ready to continue pushing onwards towards my goals. And it's also crazy just to think back to the last time that I did it and what I was manifesting. Now that I've done it again, my vision has changed a little bit. It is definitely due to the fact that I've done a lot of growing since the last time that I did that meditation, and it's just interesting to see the difference. I was visualizing my van in Australia, what it looks like. I now have such a clear vision of what the van looks like and what it feels like existing in that space, the people that I'm going to meet, the people that I'm going to spend my time with, and what I'm going to be doing. And I'm tingling right now because I'm just so excited. I forgot how good meditation was. It feels so good. Excuse the wet hair, it's honestly still drying from last night when I washed it. Just ignore that. The first thing that I will say is that it was much easier than I thought it was gonna be to like reintegrate meditating into my routine. I think like, you know, like most people, as soon as I wake up, my mind immediately goes to like everything that I have to do that day, and like I kind of just have a tendency to jump immediately into those tasks, and sometimes it's hard to get yourself to like hold back a bit and do some like, you know, self-care before you jump into your workday. But I really found that giving myself that time in the morning, it started to feel really good. Like right off the bat, I just really enjoyed taking that time for myself, and it's something that I haven't been doing obviously for quite a while. I will also say that not every single meditation was as amazing as the first one. Like the meditation that I did on day one was like, it just reframed or like switched around my mindset so fast that, I mean, honestly, I have a tendency to like do that with like random things. Like I'll listen to one podcast or I'll do one meditation and suddenly I feel like I'm a whole different person. Yeah, not every single meditation had that same effect on me, obviously, but every single meditation was good and it felt like it was a positive experience. But the significant change that I did notice was this past week. I ended up having to scrap an entire video. I had filmed it, it was in the editing process, and I just decided that it was not something that I wanted to finish or post online. And normally in situations like that, while it hasn't happened very often, thankfully, most of the time, it would have sent me into like a spiral of anxiety and stress because I take things like that really, really hard. I handled it totally different to how I usually would. I was actually able to compartmentalize, figure out what my next right action step was, and I pretty much was able to just let it go immediately, which is a very significant change. So it is now the halfway mark and I just did my meditation about an hour ago, and then I followed that with like an hour of journaling. You know how it goes. But to be completely honest, last night I was up at like 4 a.m. from the most intense anxiety I've felt in a long time. And I'm not gonna get into like everything that was like a trigger for it because it's kind of unnecessary for me to like talk about that online in this moment. But honestly, when I did the meditation, like as soon as I started it, I felt such a emotional and mental reset, especially like after the journaling session. Like I feel so much better, and I wouldn't have been able to journal the same way that I have done this morning had I not meditated. But I also feel like meditating the past 2 weeks has really helped me just be able to compartmentalize, which sometimes is something that I really struggle with. I am definitely a very like future-based thinker. Like my mind is always in the future and hardly ever in the present, and meditating always helps me to just feel so much more grounded and present and really just focus on like, okay, what are the key things that I can do for myself today that will help me feel better? So already I have like some action steps that I'm gonna try to take within the next day or so. Yeah, that is the update. I will talk to you at the end of this challenge. We've made it. It is currently March 2nd. There we go. It is now the end of this challenge and I just did my last meditation, so let's just go through all of the thoughts that I have from this past month. Habits kind of have a way of acting in like, they act as almost like a trigger for a domino effect, and that can be a positive thing or a negative thing. And I feel like when I stopped meditating, it had a negative domino effect in the sense that other habits kind of slipped along with it. Whereas when I brought meditation back into my morning routines, it had a positive domino effect. I've honestly journaled so much this past month. Like honestly, I'm talking like 3 to 4 pages a day of journaling. journaling. I definitely did not expect that. Not reaching for my phone as much, I would more often than not choose like reading or listening to a podcast instead of checking social media right away. In general, it just really helped me refocus on what I was spending my time doing, especially in the mornings. Sometimes it literally just is one simple change in your day-to-day life that you can make that will break the negative cycle that you've been in. So kind of reeling this back in to focusing just on meditation, I feel like more than anything, I just really enjoyed the time that I spent meditating over the past 30 days. I always feel so much more restful and present and grounded after I meditate, but also during the meditation, of course. And afterwards, I don't deal with as many like racing thoughts and just like, you know, the typical things that come along with having anxiety. So as someone that does struggle with that, I feel like that alone makes it so like worthwhile doing, especially if you also tend to have a very just like overwhelming, overactive mind. Meditation can help you so much. This past month especially, I've been so much better at just honoring my needs. Sometimes it becomes extremely easy to just like suppress your needs, which sounds really bad, but sometimes you just like get so caught up in day-to-day life, in what you're working on, things that you have to do, things that you have to accomplish. That stuff just happens, but meditation interrupted that pattern for me, and I was able to like actually tune into what my body was needing throughout the month. So to wrap this video up, conclusion time. Will I continue meditating? I feel like this is a given. Yes, I'm definitely going to continue meditating, purely for the reason that this past month I have kind of been going through it, to be honest, and I feel like had I not meditated, it would have been way worse for me. I feel like meditation is almost going to be kind of like a preventative practice in my life. I'm gonna link below my like top meditations that I did this month, because I did actually find quite a few amazing meditations, and I think that you guys would really love them and benefit from them as well. I really hope you enjoyed just watching me go through this experiment. I hope that you take something away from this video, even if it's just like doing one meditation. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below. Comment anything. If you subscribe, comment that, and I will definitely like your comment because it would be much appreciated. Here's my Instagram and TikTok if you would like to see more content from me, and until next time, I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!